Good morning. Hello, everyone. It's right now almost 7 o'clock a.m. 1st of the April, and I talking to my fellow citizen Canadian from Calgary, which I arrived 29, and as usual, uh, as President Trump says, the culture of the Iran is a terrorism, Muslim Iranian terrorism. So you're going and again the one landlord is coming, said I'm from Guyana. I don't like your behavior. So you came from airport, take out your suitcase and go find the other place. And after that, mm, Calgary has helped me out. Alberta has helped me out. And, you know, this is a stampede culture. And I found a place beside the downtown, very cheaper, so cheaper than Toronto. You cannot find the Toronto place like by $500, for a room, a very good room. I mean, for by this money, and start to search the job, and I applied for horticulture as life, and cost of the living, and to be meaning of the citizenship. Uh, Calgary, I started based on sociology and social justice, to recognize the social justice as a main criteria of humanism and in philosophy and in for culture, and as a main index of the culture is social justice. See the culture of the Alberta, and I mean Calgary in downtown, different from Toronto, despite of the starting from minus negative point and the worst point by the gathering some Iranian terrorism, Muslim, 1, 2, 3, they came beside me inside of the some Tim Horton or AW, food court, or they want to see we are here, or some Jewish Orthodox. One person came to the library yesterday, in the Calgary Center, or Chinese people, they say we are here. So, point is here. Russia, China has a war right now in Russia with the Ukraine in a European continent. It's not a superficial issue. It's a very concern, and so many people is they left the house. It look like remind us First World War and Second World War, and remind me history of Iran in Second World War. The people stay in a queue line for a bread, and history with Russia in Second World War, and but again I'm seeing that Canada is the best country in the world, and I'm so glad and live here, and but I'm thinking as a humanism, as a existentialism, humanism, think to the all the world, because all the world is one body organs, and the one organ is a malfunction, other organ doesn't work. So if European continent has a problem, this problem would be for American continents as well. And Russia and China, they have a their reason, and they cannot recognize the Western reason, and that is a problem. And how can make a one reason for both? Russia has a strong economy in a military, and its resource is natural, I mean, oil reservoir, natural gas, and industry and agriculture. but doesn't have a democracy. Culture doesn't let the cultures grow up. So social justice comes up. Social justice in China and social justice in Russia is not comparable with social justice in a Western European, most likely, and North American continent. So at this time, despite of the some, for example, you want to speak with the Calgary people. They are very beautiful girls, blondie, and they talk to you. They smiling, but after dining and dinner, dancing, drinking, so did 2 hours, 3 hours. So what the rest of the hours we want to talk about the our country, talk about the future, history. First of all, history of our country and the history of Alberta, future of the Alberta, and the other provinces. So we need the conversation, and we need the talk to each other. At this point, we have to talk about how can make a social justice improving and evolution. Right now, I can remember to point of the USA history has its problem between black and white, and during the special at the 20th century with Martin Luther or Malcolm X as well, and social justice in USA, and after foreign policy of the USA has a system, the flouting of the capitalism, and has a growth and is working despite of the problem, and has a competition in global marketing by share stock market with the China, and without consideration of the different social justice and reason in thought between American culture and the Chinese culture. And Russia has its way during the history from Tsar to Bolshevik, and from Bolshevik until now, which has happened after Glasnost or Prostorica in 1990. Now I came here, and tomorrow I want to go taking my health card. So suddenly they need the Canadian passport and the citizenship. So this is a paper. Who signed this one? Honorable Jason Kenney. Certificate of Canadian citizenship. Certificate de citoyenneté canadien. The Minister of Citizenship and Honorable, I think, hereby certify and declare that Hamish Safdari is a Canadian citizen, and as such is entitled to all the rights and privilege, and bears all the responsibilities, obligation, and duties of Canadian subject. Totally is reason, totally is metaphysics, totally is a philosophy and the justice, and social justice. Totally is belong the reason and philosophy as part of the culture. This conversation, this argument, this sentence, this concept. To the French, this is le ministère de la citoyenneté, de la immigration, certify déclare par les personnes que est citoyen canadien et c'est étudié de tous les privilèges sujet canadien et ses responsabilités, obligations, déclaration quoi lui condamne. Yeah. So, and this is called quote to quote. This is a Canadian studies. This is from yeah. We cannot say 15th century, 16th century because already French came, but this is called started from almost yeah 18th century and 18th century, 19th century, 20th century, up to now, so 3 century, 320 years. It's called the code to code. I mean, we have to understand if you want to study, Canadian philosophy, you have to see reason, social justice, uh, equity, heritage of the French, heritage of the English, crown as a part of the ensembles and the figure of the dish for a treaty. This treaty was in Utrecht, I believe so, in the Netherlands, for after war between the England and France. And Scottish, Irish, Welsh, part of the that escalation happened between Upper Lower Canada, but reason, the unity of reason made this country right now in a peace, despite of the actually any no idealism, always evolution, always different idea. So now by this preface, by this introduction, now I continue uh, the rationalism, Descartes, Spinoza, Leibniz. But I'm started from the Descartes. Why I said that Descartes? Why is important? Descartes is a first initial part of the Renaissance. I mean, in 1623, I mean, starting 17th century, and want to make a problem, take off the problem, all the war and blood from, after Christianity and after Crusade, and the science, burgeons, flourished, and the universities started from, 16th century. Academies started, so now people have a chemistry, have a mathematics, physics. They came back to the, before, Christianity, like, like a Pythagorean times, like Heraclius, and so like Demetrius. So all the knowledges came back, and so they wanna, figure out what's the problem right now. So I'm continue that is a point. I'm very quick. We ended before on Descartes when he says good sense or reason is by nature equal in all men. This is the key point. Good sense or reason. Good sense or reason based on a nature equal in all men. Chinese has two eyes, one nose, one mouth. Needs to eat. Japanese same. Russia same. All the people, they need the food. So this is the nature of the human sapiens. But what is the difference? The monkey in Africa, a monkey in, for example, rainforest in Brazil, they have a similar nature, but human sapiens is not like that. because have a different language as a part of their nature, which other animal doesn't have. And the language is like a software in the computer, make a definition and make a concept and make a perception for perceiving and comprehension, and emphasizing and stress of the Descartes is on reason, but this reason and this sense is not from God or metaphysics, comes from our five senses, which I explained before. And these five senses is give us the reason, and since the nature of the all human is same, we have to be idealism in a reach the same unity of reason by equality, by social justice. This is important right now because all the problem in the from father and mother, husband and wife, kids with the parents is based on they have a reason and they have a different reason, and different reason is make a different view and different thought to justify their reasons and make escalation and argument and make a justice and organization inside the society to make a rule of the law for make a peace. And if not happen, escalation by the justice is make a war between the family. So that's happened between me and my father. I said, why I have to be Muslim, and why you want to sell me for your surviving as a banker to the Iranian terrorism regime as a new mullah, akhund, or clergyman after revolution. And so after too much argument, I migrated to the Canada, and I'm appreciate for this country. Let me come to this country by $10,000 as a skilled worker, graduate from horticulture, and I had a service and benefactor and beneficial person for the Iran, and by conversation in argument in a philosophy, I made a universal, you know, relative culturalisms or relativism in culture, and I helped them out as well. So I was still useful to help the pedagogy and education not only in Canada but even in the Middle East and Iran. So now I talk about the appreciation for this country, and because I take it out this paper for when I get my health card from Alberta, my citizenship card. This letter is from Prime Minister of um, that time, and this was from Minister of Immigration, Honorable Jason Kenney, who is right now Premier of the Alberta, as a father who thinks about the history of Alberta and future of the Alberta. 2014, I wrote one article. I said, if we want to make a little bit assimilation and surround the country like a texture of the carpet, we have to, as a like a vertical horizontal, thread is coming and they tied up a little bit, have to change the federalism tenure position comes to the provincial, and sometimes provincial goes to the federal. 2014 I had this paper in part of the my negotiation and justification argument. Yeah, Honorable Jason Kennedy came from Minister of the Immigration to the Premier of the Alberta, but it's not happen for liberal, such a this switch, for example, we have some people, like for example, me, Premier of the Ontario, be part of the federal, and or something like that, because to make a unity and love and passion and perception that province is part of the country and country is part of the province. And if we have a federalism, it's just we want to have a strong foreign policy and interior policy and respect to the each territory and province, and all is important, and it's not possible to say I'm a premier of Saskatchewan, but I don't like Canada, So all the love is making, happiness, and so change of the position. It means just same reason and same social justice and same equality to one love, which is all men, which is all citizens, which is one country. Not bad to say what the concept of the Prime Minister Stephen Harper. As a Prime Minister, it is my great pleasure to welcome you to our Canadian family in choosing to immigrate to Canada and to become a Canadian citizen. You have chosen the best country in the world. No other is as rich in promise and potential as our beloved Canada. For you, your children, and your children's children. I also want to congratulate you. Achieving Canadian citizenship is no easy task. You have left your family, friends, and homeland behind. You have met Canada's requirement for immigration, and you have worked hard to get established here. So people is coming, for example, in a policy of immigration of Australia, they have a requirement. They say, okay, you have a technician lab, for example, for physiotherapy or for health or for welding in a technology or plumbing, or you are engineer. So based on this requirement, Australia is passed. You come in Queensland or you come in, Melbourne, and this is a job, and we need you. But you want to go Melbourne, but we need the welder, for example, your job in Queensland, so you have to go there. Unfortunately, Canada, I don't know. There is a Ministry of Immigration for me is in question. I mean, some people, I think they don't love this country or they want to destroy the arrangement. Always we have to notice that destroy of the one building and construction is so easier than build up. So we have to not too much be like a revolution, but let's step by evolution. We have to figure out what's going on in the Ministry of Immigration in this country. What's the problem? I mean, is the USA the problem? England inside or China money? I mean, capitalism of the new global marketing of the China. I don't know, and we have to see. We wanna who love this country and want to leave the back home and comes, they come based pass the requirement, learn the English French language, if they love and come to this country and get a fast track and help us or the new job market. It's not good you are a physician from India and to be cab driver, it is disaster. It is not the reason. This is not the social justice. And if you think, okay, because he is Indian and I'm a white, or I'm a white and he's a black, this injustice make him malfunction and make it like a fire inside the forest, and all the smoke is comes to our eyes. So Australia, I heard that I never been, but before migration to the Canada, I tried to go to. I got that application from Australia. They had a very a little bit difficult processing, but when you landing to the country, you have your track and your pace to follow your qualification and your career. So continue the sentence of the letter of congratulations for citizenship. Yes, you are following in the footsteps of the millions of people just like yourself. Throughout our history, immigrants from every corner of the world have chosen Canada to start a new life. They come for many reasons, including opportunity, sanctuary, equality, freedom, love, prosperity, and adventure. The vast majority, I'm proud to say, achieve their goals and more. We Canadians can trace our ancestries to every imaginable culture and faith, and we have achieved harmony in our diversity. Indeed, Canada is home to the most peaceful and prosperous society the world has ever known. Yes, we achieved to this diversity. Prime Minister Pierre Elliott in the 1970s times talk about the multiculturalism, and right now, after global marketing, after Islamism, after the revolution of the Iran, they destroyed the whole order, and the EU is established, and the oil from the OPEC, and the source of the energy, and